Nobody saw this coming. Not FIFA, not the broadcast teams, not the coaches who spent months preparing their squads. On June 15th, 2026, Spain, the reigning European champions and one of the top 3 teams in the world, walked into their opening group match and got held to a scoreless draw by Cape Verde, a nation of roughly 560,000 people playing in only their second World Cup ever. That result alone is the headline of the tournament's first week. But it's just one piece of a much bigger story, because across these first 5 days, 5 separate clashes have broken out between the people playing this World Cup and the institution running it. Some loud, some quiet, all pointing to the same tension underneath. Let's go through them. First up, the most visible one. Vinícius Jr, Brazil's biggest star, had just scored a brilliant equalizer against Morocco, cutting inside and finishing with his right foot to rescue a result for one of the tournament's most decorated teams. Afterward, he was asked to do something FIFA treats as non-negotiable, a halftime interview built into broadcast deals worth billions of dollars. He said no, told he'd be fined for it. He made it simple. They'd pay the fine, but nobody from Brazil was stepping up to the microphone. That moment spread fast, not because refusing an interview is shocking on its own, but because of what it represented. It wasn't random either. It connects to mounting anger over FIFA's 3-minute cooling breaks, marketed as player welfare but scheduled conveniently for ad breaks. Players had already sent FIFA a letter demanding longer, science-backed breaks. They got 3 minutes and a commercial slot instead. Vinícius saying no to the interview was him drawing his own line. Second, Cape Verde's draw with Spain. It wasn't just a shock result, it was a window into a structural problem. The new 48-team format means more travel, more time zones, more unfamiliar training bases, sometimes in genuinely strange locations, all squeezed into a tighter window than ever before. Bigger federations can absorb that. Smaller ones like Cape Verde are managing it with far fewer resources, and pulling off a result like this despite that says a lot about both their quality and the format's growing pains. Third, Iran. Their situation looks like nothing else at this tournament. Reports say their team has been staying across the border in Mexico and crossing in only on match days, after officials, including their federation president, were denied visas and after their fans' ticket allocation was reportedly pulled. Despite all that, their players have qualified for their 7th World Cup and are simply showing up and competing. In a tournament built around the language of inclusion, Iran's situation is the starkest example of the gap between that message and the reality on the ground. Fourth, the heat and welfare letter. Dozens of players put their names on a formal request for FIFA to extend those cooling breaks from 3 minutes to 6, and to base them on real, independently verified temperature data rather than a fixed schedule built around broadcast windows. FIFA's response so far has been to keep things exactly as they were. The players signed it anyway, then went out and played within the very system they were pushing back against, because the alternative was not playing at all. And fifth, the quietest but maybe most significant, the broader travel revolt. Teams spread across 3 countries and over a dozen cities, training in spots ranging from state-of-the-art facilities to genuinely bizarre locations they didn't choose themselves. It's the same root issue as Cape Verde's situation, just playing out across nearly every squad in the tournament, not just the smaller ones. Put these 5 together and a pattern emerges. A superstar refusing a commercial obligation, a heavy underdog exposing the cost of expansion, a team competing under conditions no World Cup squad has faced before, dozens of players asking, in writing, for their safety to actually come first. None of these are identical, but they all point to the same gap. Between the World Cup FIFA is marketing and the one players are actually experiencing, and through it all, the football keeps delivering its own counter story. Cape Verde's historic point, Vinícius's goal, Iran simply taking the field. The moments and the friction are happening side by side. So here's the real question worth sitting with. Are these 5 moments the start of real pushback against how FIFA runs this tournament? Or just the ordinary growing pains of a competition that's become too big, too commercial, and too complex to make everyone happy?